News. Senior Middle East correspondent Ariel Osran bringing us the latest updates throughout the day. Thank you so much for your continued coverage.
Thanks.
Now, this is all taking a major toll on Israelis every night, rushing into the shelter, damage caused to homes, more than 20 people killed so far and hundreds more injured. So to talk more about the psychological toll that we're seeing, we're joined now by Dr. Ephraim Rosenbaum, a pediatrician at Leumit Health Services. Dr. Rosenbaum, as a pediatrician, what are the most common signs of trauma, anxiety that you're seeing in children right now? This is so incredibly traumatic, and many children have unfortunately been experiencing war for 620 days now following October 7th. But given the uncertain times right now, how can parents be supporting their children?
Great question. Yeah, we need a lot of parental support here. It's really all should be focused on the parents. They're the ones who are going to really help these kids through this time and afterwards. And basically, when kids have trauma, they tend to, different than adults, they tend to dysregulate. Dysregulate means that they get stuck in this high gear and they have trouble calming themselves, reacting appropriately, staying balanced. And that ends up causing irritability, a lot of crying, aggression, decreased concentration. They increase attachment to their parents. They tend to somaticize things. I had an 8-year-old come into the office today with chest pain, unusual symptom in general for children, but we're seeing a lot of chest pain, body aches, headaches, belly pain without any other symptoms. So oftentimes that's just related to the anxiety of the war and of the sirens and of the whole situation. They get problems with change in their sleep patterns and their eating patterns, bedwetting. So those are the kind of things we see. What do we usually tell parents? So again, the best support for kids is really a parent, not necessarily a therapist. If it's these regular things, then kids need their parents to take care of them. They need a sense of calm. They need a sense of routine. They need a lot of touch. It's important that parents really, more than usual, hug their kids, hold their hands, get down on their level, really, like on the floor, look at them eye to eye, and talk to them very simply in an honest way, and explain to them that God's given us this amazing country, and He's also given us this amazing army that allows us to fight back. When you hear that siren, it's actually a sign of our army is now shooting missiles against their missiles to keep us safe. And that's what we're here to do as your parents. We're here to keep you safe, and you're going to be safe.
But this is also incredibly difficult for the parents as well. We're talking about parents that are also losing sleep, that are also rushing their kids to the shelter, worried about their kids. So how should the parents also cope, not only taking care of their kids, but you also have to take care of yourself? How do these two go hand in hand?
Yeah, 100%. Healthy parent is a healthy child. So we need the parents to really take care of themselves. And what does that mean? Is they need to do similar things. They need to stick to a routine. They need to speak to someone other than their kids about what's going on, how they're feeling. They need to learn relaxation exercises, mindfulness exercises. They should make a list of the things that give them pleasure, make them happy. I like to play tennis, so I go play tennis now. First day I didn't because I felt it was totally inappropriate, and now I'm just like, but I need to take care of myself so I can take care of my kids and my patients. So you do the things that you need to do. Some people it's prayer, some people it's activities. Everyone has to make a list for themselves. And a big thing that we tell most of the parents who ask these questions is to try and stay off the news. I'm sorry, not I-24, except for I-24. You can stay on I-24. But every other news station, you should probably, maybe twice a day, take 5-10 minutes. But if you're if you're not an anxious person, it's probably not a healthy thing anyway. But if you are having anxiety regarding the situation, I forget what there's some term, death scrolling, what they do.
Doom scrolling.
Doom scrolling, yeah, I don't know. It's that's an important thing, I think, for parents to do, and to try and do things that really make them happy, not things that do the opposite. And then they can project that, hopefully, onto to their kids.
It's important to not be overwhelmed by the constant updates, but still watch the important segments like this one to talk about mental health. And so some of the immediate steps you mentioned, but even long-term steps, we're talking about, unfortunately, a nation that has a history of trauma. Pretty much all Israelis have been experiencing some sort of a trauma following the war. What steps to take if they do begin experiencing more symptoms of PTSD during this current crisis? What are some of the mental health resources even available through groups like Leumit Health Services?
Right. So PTSD really needs professional help. So if people are having PTSD symptoms, which are things like flashbacks, nightmares, numbing emotions, persistent negative beliefs, being constantly on edge, or that's like for adults. For kids, you see them reenacting some type of trauma in play, regression. Regression means now, let's say an older child even starts is wetting themselves during the day or something. Extreme aggression, not functioning. Basically, if you're not functioning either in the realm of work or home or friends, those are areas that if you're dysfunctional or you're experiencing that, then really that's the time to get professional help. In Leumit, we have a hotline, it's star 507. Each of the different HMOs, Kupot, they each have their hotlines. There are national organizations, Iran and Natal. They have their own hotlines. The Army has its own amazing organizations and support for veterans. So there's lots of things in this country. The important thing is not to ignore it. Don't say I'm gonna suppress it or I'll deal with it. It'll be fine, because if that's where the long-term problems happen, if you catch it early and deal with it, then you can take it from being something that's manageable to an acute stress acute stress reaction goes to acute stress disorder, goes to PTSD.
No.
So what you want to do is catch it earlier, and any type of dysfunction that you feel like you're having, the regular things aren't working, it's time to get professional help.
Now's the time to pay attention to any of those early signs. Dr. Ephraim Rosenbaum, thank you so much for giving us some insight into what people need to be looking out for.
You're very welcome. We should hear good news soon. Hashem should look over us.
Thank you. Now we are going out